Hello, good morning. How is everybody doing this morning? We are going to be going over some fun things today, and I'm hoping that everybody is having a great start to the week. We are just going to wait for a couple more people to join in, and then once we have a couple more people in here, we are going to start the program. All right. So for everyone who is in here today, guys, let's do one thing, okay? First and foremost, if you guys are not already following us, go ahead and do so, because sometimes I do have to hop off the live and then hop back on due to technical difficulties. But today I just wanted to go over what we are going to be going over. So for those of you guys who are new here, welcome. We are Avana. We are going to be discussing Lipo 360 today on the program. And then we are going to be going into HD Lipo 360. And then the difference between HD Lipo 360 and Lipo 360 with ab etching. All right. And I do want you guys to also know that whenever you guys see Lipo 360 and ab etching, that is actually how it looks on women, but we do have the variations of how that looks on men as well. So for those of you guys who are enjoying Coachella this weekend and you were seeing the guys pop out looking like this, all right, perhaps this is what they got. Now, it definitely looks different from everyone, and we are going to be discussing how this is done, because if you guys can see from the before, it's actually sculpted in to look like what you guys have seen, which is this. All right, so that's what we're gonna go over with today. So T Wilson, thank you so much for the follow, and where are you joining from? And then guys, we are also going to be going over what Lipo 360 is with J Plasma, and I'm going to show you guys how you can see that informative content. All right, so please stay tuned for that. Now, T Wilson is from Jacksonville, Florida. Fantastic. We are in Miami, Florida. We have 3 locations here, and I always like to remind everybody, especially our newbies like T Wilson, that if you guys would like to ask any questions in terms of what the pricing is for anything inclusive of BBLs, breast augmentations, tummy tucks, or anything of the sort, you can absolutely 100% do so by leaving your details in the little blue box down below at any point throughout the program. When I'm not on the live, you guys can always send in your details in our DM, either here or on Instagram, and I'll go over exactly how to do that later, because again, what's required is your name and number in order for them to actually contact you. But then once you guys do that, the consultations are in fact free. So it's not like you have to have anything or have any type of pressure to even discuss the information, okay? But we are going to be talking about body balancing, and that's why I'm so happy that you followed us, T Wilson. And for those of you guys who are not already following us, go ahead and do so, because if you guys scroll down on our page here on our profile, you'll be able to see the body balancing that we are going to be discussing today and how you guys just saw with the BBLs. So Dahlene, thank you so much for the follow as well. And where are you joining from? We have T Wilson from Jacksonville, Florida. Who else do we have in here? All right, then guys, like I said, we are going to be discussing the HD Lipo 360 in detail, and in particular, we are going to be discussing the pricing of this. However, if you want the pricing for anything else, like I mentioned at the beginning, please go ahead and leave your details in the little blue box, because it's so simplified when I'm on the live. But then when I'm not on the live, you guys definitely have to leave your name and number once you send that DM, okay? So let's get this party popping. All right, guys, how much do you guys think the HD Lipo 360 costs on screen? Let's see if we can have a guess in the comments, okay? So first and foremost, T Wilson, go ahead and guess, as well as you, Jacqueline. Castle Bear, go ahead and guess as well. And for anyone else who is new here, go ahead and guess. So Jacqueline guessed 8K. Do we have any other guesses in here? 8K is a good guess. It's a good guess. Absolutely. Definitely looks like it's more than what it's worth, right? So do we have any other guesses, guys? I'm looking for at least one more. And then I will start going into detail about how much it is. So Enfort 3 guessed 6K. And do we have any other guesses? Just one more, because I know sometimes it takes a little longer. There we go. T. Wilson came through with the 6. All right, fantastic, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the HD Lipo 360 that you are seeing on screen is actually 4.5K, and it's done by Dr. McDaniel. And then if you guys would like it with the BBL, it's closer to what T. Wilson guessed, which is 6K, but it's actually 5.8K. All right, so the HD Lipo 360 alone is 4.5K, and then with the BBL, it is 5.8K. Now, if you guys would like to know about any other pricing for any other procedure, including tummy tuck, breast augmentation, any other thing, please send us a DM, because that is where you're going to be able to get additional information that is more tailored towards you. And then I'll go over what that means. But first of all, thank you, Trina, for the follow. So again, this particular doctor is Dr. McDaniel. Dr. McDaniel's highest BMI is 35. However, if you have a high BMI of, for example, 38, you would be paired with Dr. Mamoniskis, who does the highest BMI here of 38. All right, so if you guys are in fact placed to be with Dr. Mamoniskis, you will get the price for Dr. Mamoniskis. All right, if you guys fit the criteria to be placed with Dr. Abbasi, based on her BMI, then that is the quote that you will get. So this is why I always tell you guys, please leave your details down below, because based on your personal health history, your BMI, and everything that has to do with you specifically, that's when you'll be paired with the doctor that will be best suited to work with you. And then that's how you'll get the quote for you. So I'm happy that we are all on the same page about that. Now let's discuss the before and afters. If you'd love to see what the doctors are giving, go ahead and check out our Instagram page, all right? So before you leave, please make sure that you follow us here, okay, before you go. However, when you go and check out the before and afters over on Instagram, you're going to be able to see all of the different doctors, because we have over 10 there, in the highlights reel. However, if you are more of a reader, more so than a visual learner, I highly recommend that you guys also visit the website, avanaplasticsurgery.com. When you guys visit avanaplasticsurgery.com and you click on before and after, you can choose between the surgeon to filter from or the procedure. Now, if you guys filter by procedure and you want to know something, for example, like the BBLs, they will give you all of the BBL procedures, versus if you are in particular interested in a surgeon, then you can sort and filter through surgeon in terms of the before and after. Okay, now guys, if you would like, I highly recommend you actually scroll through on Instagram first, then head over to avanaplasticsurgery.com, and then you guys can check out all of that over there. Okay, now let's get back to business. Do you guys have any questions so far? Any questions, guys? So Jacqueline has a question. Fantastic. And guys, don't be shy. Be like Jacqueline. Go ahead and ask away. So we have Jacqueline who is asking, after the surgery, is there a requirement for drainage? Is that included into the 4.5 or additional? So that is a fantastic question, Jacqueline, and I'm really happy that you asked that. Let me go ahead and answer that for you in detail. So first and foremost, every single doctor has a different, let's say, surgery style, right? And we recently launched a series over on YouTube that's called Under the Microphone. At the end of each episode, you're going to be able to see their perspective if they use one drain or two. That way you know their surgery style. My goal is after all of the episodes on Under the Microphone are released, I will then do a compilation so that you guys can see how many drains each doctor uses and why. Now, Jacqueline, trust me, I'm going somewhere with this, but because every single doctor has a different surgery style, they either use one or two drains. However, that is in fact included because in reality, it's based on the style of the surgeon. It has nothing to do with additional costs. Any type of additional costs that you may have will be post-op, meaning if you're gonna do a BBL, are you going to get a BBL pillow, which is highly recommended? However, there are deals and specials that are currently going on over on Instagram on Avana Plastic Surgery on top 3 pinned posts. There's a current deal going on for everything you need after your BBL for only $480. That includes 1 body shaper garment, 1 BBL pillow, 1 front board, 1 pair of anti-embolism socks, 3 massage sessions, and 3 lipo foams. Okay? So that is the post-op bundle that's currently going on for the Brazilian butt lift, which is the BBL. All right. So for the most part, in terms of the drains, that's not something that you pay additional for. That is based on the surgery style of the surgeon. It has nothing additional to do with anything. Your main concern always is about post-op. Why? Because all of those things are things you keep. So the BBL pillow is something that you keep. That's an item, right? The garment, that's something that you keep. All of these things are things that you are literally buying as like clothes, accessories for post-op. Now, when you book that free consultation and you speak with a coordinator, these are the questions that I highly recommend you guys ask. All right. Ask about pre-op, right? Because we had a girl, she recently did her surgery, by the way. I'm really, really happy for her. She comes on here all the time. I believe her username is Radiant Soul. She needed to get her hemoglobin levels up to 12. And she was like at, I think, a 9 or something. So she came on live. We spoke about all the different things that she should be eating. She got to like 11.2 on the day of surgery. So they had to reschedule her. But luckily, she got her surgery last week. But at the end of the day, we want you guys safely snatched, right? So we're going to need for you guys to obviously book that free consultation so that you can even see if you qualify for surgery, because it doesn't even make sense for you guys to not be safely snatched. You guys need to have your doctor confirm all is well. We're not just going to take your word for it, but the first step would be to have that free consultation to see, at least mentally plan what the entire financing package would look like, because they do offer financing and you can book up to 2 years in advance. So for example, if you already know now that you want a BBL, you can book that BBL up to 2 years in advance. And guess what? Our current deal that's happening right now over on Instagram, which is only one of 3, by the way, and you can actually ask your coordinator if there's any more. That BBL package for $480, you can book this up to 2 years in advance. Do you see what I'm saying? I think what they require is like a deposit, and then you can like just kind of like secure the deal. And then there's also a Lipo 360 and BBL deal going on for just under 3.3. And then there's also a BBL and breast augmentation going on with saline implants. And that is by Dr. McDaniel, which is this doctor. And that's currently going on for just under 6.8. So what do I recommend? I recommend that you guys book that free consultation. You see how we keep coming around in the same place? Book that free consultation. Leave your details in a little blue box. That way they can contact you, figure out a best way to talk. The reason why I don't want you guys to just send your messages over in the DM is because I already did this before, and we used to get so many messages, but then the problem was that no one could communicate back with you guys because you're not chronically online like me. Like, I'm chronically online, you understand? So I'm gonna see the message. You guys are living your life, you're working. My work is this, So I'm going to see the message. However, you guys are busy working, living your life, doing your things. And so if you leave your name and number, they can easily coordinate a time for you to talk to the coordinator. Instead of you guys just asking a question, they're going to send you back the message like, hey, by the way, can we get your name and your number? And then the organization of it all is just going to take so much more time when you could just, on this live right now, leave your name and number down below, and then they can coordinate with you as to when you can speak with a coordinator. The best questions, again, all things pre-op, actual operation, right? And then your post-op. But if I were you, I'd go to Instagram, check out all of the before and afters, because I'm a visual learner. Like, all artists, I think, are visual learners. However, I do want to see what the product is giving, right? So Jacqueline says, thank you for your info and explanation. Let's go ahead and pin that, all right? And you're very welcome. And Vera Stacy, thank you so much for following. And Jacqueline, where are you joining from? And Vera, where are you joining from? Please let us know. Please let the class know. As well as you, Trina Wolf, because I don't think you told us. I know T. Wilson is in Florida. I think it was Jacksonville. However, where are the rest of the girls from? So Jacqueline is in Orlando. I love that for you. All right. And like I said, you guys can book a free consultation regardless of the fact that you're in Florida. You're close, which is fantastic, right? Because in order to head back home, for example, after your surgery, you don't have to worry about, you know, the long journey. Now, Miss Bonai from New Jersey, welcome. Okay. And all of these things are things that I would ask when you guys are having that free consultation. All right. Ask for travel. What do you guys recommend? All of that are questions that you guys should be asking during your free consultation. Luckily, Jacqueline, as well as TJ, I think you guys are here in Florida. So you guys, T. Wilson, you guys don't have to worry about the long journey back. But Miss Bonai, for example, if you are traveling back to New Jersey, I highly recommend that you guys do your free consultation, right? Do your free consultation and ask the relevant questions in terms of what you should prepare for your post-op in terms of your flight back. Now, I always recommend you guys stay for a minimum of 5 days. However, these are things that you should be asking your doctor anyway, but I would recommend minimum 5 days. 7 days is the sweet spot, triple S, sweet spot 7 days. 10 days, you have a sugar daddy, you don't have to worry about bills. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can stay to 10 days, you don't have no problem. Now, Ms. Bonai says you guys only have an office in Florida for now. But I don't know when they're going to make that announcement. What I do know is that they have launched a, it's called, hold on, I have to really get this right. Avana Smile Design. And I know that they have launched a teeth place here. So that's something that you guys should also look into when you head over to Instagram, because it doesn't make sense for you guys to have all of this and then your teeth are not giving. All right. We can't have pre-rich Cardi B teeth with the BBL. All right. Priorities. Okay. Priorities. But why not do both? All right. If you're already here, why not do both? It's from the same place, so might as well. All right. And the good thing is that you guys don't have to fly out to places like Colombia. You know what I mean? Like, you can literally just do everything here. But like I said, for now, yes, we have 3 locations in Florida. I don't really know when exactly they plan to do their extensions, but at some point I'm sure the vision is to fully, you know what I mean, take over. But until then, yes, Florida is going to be your hub, and there's 3 locations here, over 10 surgeons. If you guys want to check out all of the different surgeons as well, as I mentioned, visit avanaplasticsurgery.com, because that is where you're going to be able to see absolutely everything. Okay. One second, guys. Okay, so Do you guys have any other questions? Any other questions for me while you guys have me on the live? Are there any questions that you guys want me to ask the doctor? I'm gonna see him today. So if there's any questions that you guys want to see in terms of content, feel free to give me some pitches right now, because I do have to film with him later and I could possibly include it there. All right. We got a request in last week and today that's what I'm going to film. But if you guys have any questions to add to it, then I will add that to the video that I create with him today. All right. Now, other than that, guys, like I said, please visit Avana Plastic Surgery over on Instagram as well, because the 3 deals are pinned to the top, right? But there's other things that you guys should absolutely check out. So one of them is a HD lipo and BBL by Dr. Abbasi. Then remember I told you guys about the teeth stuff, right? Highly recommend you guys check that out as well. Isn't it cool? It's giving, no? So definitely check that out. What else we got going on? Let's do a quick stocky stock. So then, I think we can show this one on here. You guys check out this video. She's giving also. All right, and then let's see what else we got going on. A breast augmentation by Dr. Hamamjan with saline. Ab etching and BBL by Dr. Luster. Okay. And then we also have one by Dr. Memeniscus. I think this is this a mommy makeover? Yep, it's a mommy makeover. And then what else we have going on? We got Laura. Anyway, and then we have see, what I was telling you guys on the live last week is one of the things that I like about what they're doing in terms of the teeth are they're giving you that little transparent look at the very bottom of the teeth, so the teeth are actually looking real. Does that make sense? Have you guys seen how they used to do the teeth, like for the celebrities back in the 90s, early 2000s, how the teeth was like white like chiclets and it was never giving? Now the teeth actually give teeth, like they look like real teeth. Everything is better over time when it comes to this type of technology, but I think we finally got it down, like really. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Okay. All right, then there's a breast augmentation by Dr. Hassan. What else we got going on? That's about it, guys. I literally went through everything with you guys. So first and foremost, visit Avana Plastic Surgery over on Instagram. That is where you guys are going to be able to see all of those before and afters that I really can't show here. I tried to show you at least one. I think she's a dancer. That one has like 47,000 views almost. So definitely check that one out because body is giving. I did see that one of the girls were like commenting down below like, oh, I want to see how it looks like when you're standing up straight. That one you can absolutely see standing up straight because she's actually walking in that video. So I'm probably sure that's why that video is so popular. Then again, there's the HD lipo and BBL by Dr. Abbasi. I don't think this one shows titty, so maybe I can ask for this one as well because this one looks really nice actually. And as you guys know, I add on to this Rolodex for you guys while you guys are on the live with me so that I can show you guys everything. But this stomach actually looks really nice because it's not as pronounced. This one I really like to show you guys because it shows the difference in the contrast of the skin for the HD lipo. But there's another one by her that doesn't really show it too heavily. I'm gonna ask for it. Wait. When I downloaded it using the external site, it literally gave me the worst quality. So now I just have to ask for it directly, unfortunately. Extra work for them because obviously she has to send it to me, right? But I'd rather that because I had one on here, but I deleted it because it was so bad. But this quality is good, like when she actually sends it to me. So I'll get that one. I'll have that one up because I do want you guys to see the difference between that HD lipo versus the other one. I'm gonna have to remove the BBL obviously, but if you guys want to see it with the BBL, please visit Avana Plastic Surgery over on Instagram because that's where you guys are gonna be able to see that. Her technique is interesting actually because what I'm guessing is that she's almost using geometry in order to do her BBL. The reason why I say that is because there's like circles, there's literal circles that are on her butt. So I'm wondering if she actually measured it out. Check it out. Like I said, you guys can tell me what you think. Is she guys giving you guys Fibonacci BBLs? I'm wondering. Maybe that is something that I'm gonna write down for her YouTube series actually. All right, let's go. Let's write this down actually, because one of the biggest lies that I ever tell myself is I will remember to do that later. I will not. Okay. So Fibonacci sequence BBL Dr. Abbasi. All right. So maybe we can start doing that for her. All right. Now that is so crazy to me. That's so crazy to see his music in Bogota. It's insane. Anyway, what else do we got going on here? So Okay. All right, I think that's about it. Let's see what else we have going on before I let you guys continue living your life instead of you watching me watch myself. All right. But if you guys do have any questions, now is the time to ask because we're about to wrap up. However, let's go ahead and check out just one more thing before I leave. Whoever the guy is that's doing the YouTube is so good, honestly. He gets it. He understands the assignment. You know what I mean? What else do we got going on? Anyway, guys, like I said earlier, the series over on YouTube is called Under the Microphone. I highly recommend you guys check it out because over there, for example, you'd be able to see Dr. Luster's episode. She talks about the macho makeover and all that goes into the surgery with that. I know it doesn't apply to most of you guys, like 99.9%. However, it's nice to see what their opinion is on how they approach surgery, and that was the point of the series. So regardless of the fact that it's a macho makeover and it doesn't apply to you because you're a woman, I'd recommend still looking at it because that's how she approaches surgery, right? More so than anything else. Then Dr. McDaniel also has his episode, which was the first episode that talks about the very controversial topic of breast implant illness. Is it real? Is it not? He puts his surgery take on it, his professional medical take on it. So I'd highly recommend you guys also check that out because that's something that you guys are going to learn a lot about from his take, okay? Again, that is Avana Plastic Surgery over on YouTube. When you guys click on Avana Plastic Surgery, make sure that not only you subscribe, but click on the actual profile because that's when you guys are able to then click on videos. And then in the videos, you'll be able to see a couple of them. Now, Dr. Schusterman, which I always tell you guys are sleeping on. I showed you his work earlier. He also is going to have his video up like relatively soon, but in the meantime he does answer some questions in terms of the mommy makeover, which is a combo procedure that doesn't have anything to do with this. I'm just showing you guys who Dr. Schusterman is, okay? However, if you guys want to learn a little bit more about the mommy makeover, go ahead and check out his video as well. It's called Dr. Schusterman is here to answer the most common questions about okay? Check that out. Definitely recommend you guys see more about that. Then what else do we have going on here? The 6-pack with plastic surgery by Dr. Luster. We discussed this, okay? And then speaking of, if you guys haven't seen this body balancing video over on our profile, please scroll down and check out this video because it really and truly does put into perspective that you guys are going to be balanced in terms of what your body is giving when you guys do the surgery. You're not going to look like an ant, right? So if you have a skinny frame, it's going to look like your skinny frame. It's not going to give insane. All right. So Jennifer is liking the live. I'm just saying it's not going to look crazy. It's actually going to match your body. All right. And that's what we want. We want you guys to look natural. So if you're curvy, it's going to give you curvy. If you have a Latina body, it's going to give you Latina body. If you have a skinny body, like if you're giving Eastern European, it's still going to give that. All right. So Jennifer says she booked with Dr. Luster in May. I love that for us. And how did you discover Avana? Let me open up the class so that we can get some Q&A from you guys. All right. So Jennifer, how did you discover Avana? How did you book with Dr. Luster? Why did you book with Dr. Luster? And what are you getting done, most importantly? Okay. So definitely interested in that. Let's put up Dr. Luster's work so that we can interview Jennifer quickly. All right. Because I do have some work to do, but I have time to talk to you, Jennifer. All right, for the sake of the class, all right? For the sake of the class. Dr. Schusterman will probably pop in here at some point, and as soon as he does, I'm gonna go. Because we typically film on Mondays, so I will sit down with him so that we can discuss how we will be doing that moving forward. But most importantly, I need to be readily available for when he is ready and available. All right. So Jennifer says lots and lots of research. She's a healthcare worker as well, and she works with several surgeons and medical doctors. She loves her bedside manner. I love that. Let's go ahead and pin that as well. Jennifer, I love all of the research. Okay. And then Jennifer says that she loves the bedside manner, which is fantastic, as she booked for an hourglass tummy tuck. Ooh, that's interesting. I haven't heard that term, by the way. Hourglass tummy tuck. Let's see what AI tells us. An hourglass tummy tuck combines a standard tummy tuck with liposuction and fat transfer to sculpt a more pronounced hourglass figure. This involves removing excess skin and fat from the abdomen, tightening abdominal muscles, and strategically removing fat from areas like the love handles and lower back to create a smaller waistline. The removed fat is often then transferred to the hips and buttocks for a more rounded and curved look. Are you going to do a BBL as well? Jennifer, please let the class know. We are very invested now. Okay, we are very invested now. Please let us know. All right. Ooh, Avana pops up when you type in hourglass tummy tuck. I love that. All right, I love that for us. Let's go ahead and pin that she's actually getting an hourglass tummy tuck so everybody knows what I just read out loud. Did you guys like how I read? I know how to read. I know how to read in both ways, okay? In both ways. Now, guys, we are waiting for Jennifer to let us know the extra little details in case of if she is going to in fact do the BBL with it, because that's what it said on AI, but we need to ask Jennifer specifically. And then let's see what she says in the meantime. All right, but we love the hourglass tummy tuck. I didn't even know that was what it was called. I wondered why some of them was like cinched and then some of them weren't, but I guess it was the style. I wondered why some of them was like cinched and then some of them weren't, but I guess it was the style. Interesting. We learn something new every day, don't we? All right, so in the meantime, guys, we did everything that we needed to do, meaning we did a little quick stocky stock over on the Instagram. Then we did a stocky stock over on the YouTube page. And they're also at 275,000 over on Instagram. So that's a plus, right? Let's see. Guys, we went over literally everything, honestly. We went over everything. Let's see how many followers the new smile design place has already. It's not bad, guys. 163 followers since last week. When? 5 days ago. It's not bad at all. Like, talk about organic growth, right? So really, really exciting. Definitely check out Avana Smile Design on Instagram as well, because there's some deals going on. The Avana Porcelain Smile, for example. Avana Express Smile, dental implants. This is what I presume everybody's ex looks like. This one. And then this is what your new person looks like. This is your ex. This is the new person. Okay. Check out the dental implants they got going on, because I know some of your exes are 100% missing teeth as well as brain cells. And then there's a perfect smile in record time, which is the express smile. That one fixes like gaps and stuff, so definitely check that one out as well. And then they also have the other one, get a Hollywood smile, and then it just kind of shows you how much nicer, like, you know what I mean, you can get it to just be more uniformed, like the way everything sits just looks kind of cute, right? Everyone wants Avana everywhere. There's one comment here that's like, we need Avana in Las Vegas, and then another one, we need it in Virginia. Anyway, now let's continue scrolling. Let's see what's going on. They fix like the little gaps and whatnot as well. Do you know what I mean? Like the little gaps in your teeth. Like if you kind of just want it to be a little bit more uniform without having to go through the struggle of braces. I used to have Invisalign, and I was super young when I had Invisalign, like maybe 15, and I was on a flight, I forgot where, I think it was like back to the Caribbean, and on my flight, I was sitting next to, I think he was like an attorney or like something like this, and ever since, I've been embarrassed because I was drinking a McDonald's McFlurry milkshake, and I had like the brown stuff everywhere. Guys, save the embarrassment and just book to do it like this. Now we have a question. A girl's girl BBL journey with Han. All right, so we have a question in terms of what you need to be going through in your portal. Now, what I'd highly recommend a girl's girl BBL journey with Han is send us a DM here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to escalate the situation because I'm a problem solver. All right. However, because I'm not necessarily in that department, what I can do is make sure that they know once you send a message that this is a situation that needs to be addressed immediately. Let me say cheese. All right. And then when you send this question over in the DM, they will then respond to you there. Just literally copy and paste this message over there. I will, in the meantime, and please do it in the DM because I'm pretty sure you've already left your details in the little blue box down below. So if you've already left your details in the little blue box, it's not going to allow you to do it again. And that goes for everybody in here. If you've already left your details, it's not going to allow you to do it again. So please leave your name and your number in our DM. And that goes for you as well, a girls BBL journey with Han. Because when you leave your number, they'll be able to pull up your file right away. And that's why we ask you guys to leave your name and your number so that you can actually have a file created as well. So leave your number and then paste that answer in terms of your surgery being May 8th. And then your coordinator will contact you right away. All right. In the meantime, I am going to send them this. Please confirm with me once you've sent that DM, please. Okay. Okay, great. Fantastic. I already told them as well that you sent it. I sent them the message. She's always busy. I literally be chilling over here with you guys. Music. Literally just answering questions, having a blast. I think be stressed and struggling over there. Struggling. It's not funny, but it's so funny. All right. So they will get back to you. Now, let's go ahead and see what else is going on over here. In terms of the teeth, So I already showed you guys what your ex teeth looks like versus what your new man's teeth are gonna look like. In the meantime, let's see what else is going on. You know, one of the things that I really like about the breast augmentations, I'm a triple F naturally. I hate wearing bras. It's one of the, I hate it. No one can convince me on planet Earth that we should be even wearing them, please. Okay, we do that for capitalism purposes, in my opinion. However, when you have a breast augmentation, like it sits, do you know what I mean? Like it's just like up, like it's not like mine, where it's like when I lay down, one is behind my neck, the other one is down here. Do you know what I mean though? It's just, it's so nice. And even when you're just like stood up, it just like sits. A lot of the times when people are looking into breast augmentations, what they don't realize is that they should actually be asking the doctor what the doctor recommends that they do for their breast augmentation. Because, for example, in your mind, you might be thinking, oh, I want breast implants. But the doctor might actually recommend, after seeing you, that you do a breast lift. And then if you'd like it to go bigger, you could. But if you don't even need it to go bigger, and possibly even just the breast lift is fine based on the size. For example, for me as a triple F, I wouldn't need to have an implant. Does that make sense? I'm already a triple F. But if I would like it to sit, like how I'm seeing this girl from Dr. McDaniel, then I would need the lift. Now the lift does do a different style of like incision. So it gives the anchor scar, which is down and across like an anchor. And that one, I would highly recommend that you guys do your research on in terms of how to heal the scarring so it looks as clean as possible post-op. These are all questions that I would highly recommend that you guys ask the coordinator when you book that free consultation. All right, because again, there are things that you can be doing, but to get a medical professional opinion is obviously better, right, than just searching on Google like how to prevent the scar. There was a girl that I saw on TikTok like a couple days ago, and she was talking about how she had a breast lift scar, but she was using like so much Aquaphor and all of that. But definitely ask your doctor, okay, how soon after can I start using the Aquaphor? Like these are all questions that you should be asking. You're not going to do it the following day, right? But definitely these are the questions that you should be asking. Absolutely. Okay. Because the last thing you want to do is put yourself in a situation. So this is why I always recommend book that free consultation, leave your details in the little blue box down below. That way, when you actually book that free consultation, you can ask all the questions: pre-op, operating date, post-op. All of these are questions that you need the answers to by the professionals. But yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. Like it just looks, it looks so nice when it's sat up. It also looks nice when it's laying down. Obviously here I don't show you guys that. But it looks so nice when you're just like sat up. I think boobs are quite tricky because if you have like cute little tiny boobs, do you know what I mean? It's giving high fashion, right? But when you have big boobs, you can't pull off like a lot of things. Does that make sense? You really can't. So if it's sitting up, it just gives you like a more natural, do you know what I mean? Like naturally perked up young vibe. I did see a girl who was doing a video on like taping the boobs so they look like this, but no. The way my skin is so sensitive, I know that ripping off that tape is definitely gonna rip off skin. Like, my skin is so thin. No. But this is a great alternative. And then if you guys are interested in, like, for example, getting a lipo 360 and BBL, you might as well just ask about the mommy makeover, because the mommy makeover is the 3-in-1 surgery. In terms of, like, it's 3 like procedures in one session, right? However, if you do the breast lift and then you do the lipo 360 and BBL, that's literally called the mommy makeover, because it's top, mid, and bottom, right? You don't necessarily have to do the breast implants. So I'd recommend asking the doctor, like, do you think I need a breast lift? Do you think I need breast implants? What kind of breast implants do I need? Like, all of these are questions that you guys should be asking throughout your actual free consultation. When I spoke to Dr. Schusterman, and we have a video on our page here on our profile, and I'm hoping that everybody that's in here, you guys are following us already, right? If you guys go on our profile and you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see Dr. Schusterman talk about how he recommends gel implants. And go watch that video and see why he recommends that, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, every single doctor has their own professional opinion about everything and their medical opinion about everything. And that's one of the reasons why I told you guys earlier in the live about the drains, because we did have a question as well with regard to drains. The surgery style of each surgeon is different, and some use 1, some use 2, and they explain it in every single video. At some point, once all of the videos are released, I'm going to do a compilation, and I'll put it here as well. I think that's one of the videos that we will pin, though, just so that you guys can understand that every surgeon has a different surgery style. But in the meantime, go ahead and check out that video here on our profile, as well as over on YouTube. Please go ahead and check out that video as well. There's a BBL by Dr. Hassan that's also on Instagram that I highly recommend you guys check out. Obviously, I can't post it here because the BBLs actually show what the butt looks like for real. This is the one that I finally was able to like edit, because a lot of them had clothes. This one, swimsuit's fine, right? But like the ones that they actually show, they just cover a little bit with like black graphics, let's say, so that we can actually post it on Instagram. Thank God I have nothing to do with none of that. However, they do a really good job, but I can't show you guys because it's like really what it is, right? Like bare butt, no pun intended. But check out Dr. Hassan's BBL, because that is what I talk about when I discuss body balancing. It's giving fitting her frame. It's giving this BBL is perhaps real. Does that make sense? Like, the best BBLs, in my opinion, are the BBLs that you can't tell that it's a BBL. We're not going to give you an ant look here. You're not going to be walking around looking insane. All right. However, what I really do like about this is that it matches her frame, right? So meaning the top of her, in terms of the diameter of her top, like her shoulders, matches the bottom now. Before, she was boxy because the top was bigger than the bottom. So it gives you more of a V shape like a man versus a very feminine hourglass shape. And that goes back to the conversation that we were having earlier, because we had Jennifer who booked an hourglass tummy tuck with Dr. Luster. And in reality, that hourglass figure is always what you're going to look for when doing these type of procedures, because you want to look more feminine, right? But more so, you want to accentuate what you're doing as well. So that's why I highly recommend you guys check out all of the different lipo procedures that are offered, because depending on what you want, right, it's going to actually give you either an hourglass, a flat surface that's going to give you more model frame, right? Or if you want to look more athletic And this is really and truly just for the top. The back, most likely hourglass, especially if you're doing the lipo. But I wanted you guys to see that BBL in particular. And one of the reasons why I highly recommend that you actually check out the Instagram page is because it's going to show you what it looks like when it's done well. When you guys go overseas and you try to do your bodies where you can save a little bit of dollars, and then you still have to come in and do a revision surgery, it doesn't make sense. Because you're measuring twice to cut once, you're not having to cut twice. That doesn't make sense. However, this is a body that you can clearly see that was done overseas, and they don't necessarily do what I mentioned earlier, which is body balancing. You want to measure twice and cut once. And by measure twice, I mean have that free consultation, speak to a coordinator, speak to the doctor, see what you need to do in order to ensure that you can get this right off the bat, instead of having to do this and then coming back a second round to have to do this. All right, so highly recommend you guys actually book that free consultation and speak to us so that we are able to give you guys the dream body, right? Instead of you guys having to come back and do it a second time. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna treat you like the man and leave. All right. I need to also run after Dr. Schusterman because sometimes he forgets and then I don't see him for the rest of the week. But like I said, guys, if you haven't already, leave your details down below. Once I'm off the live, you can still do so either in our DM here or on Instagram. I highly recommend that you guys check out the Instagram, because that is where you guys are going to be able to see all the different surgeons on the highlight reels, and then most importantly, all of the before and afters. However, what I really and truly would like for you guys to do most importantly is to leave your name and your number whenever you guys do send us that DM. And the reason being is because we can't call you from your username and you're not chronically online, so we still need to be able to reach you. Okay, and like I said, check out those deals that are currently going on at the pinned post at the top of the Instagram page as well. Again, just to remind everybody, there's everything you need after your BBL bundle deal for $480. Go check out what all of that includes. I already said it on the live. And then there's also a lipo 360 and BBL currently going for just under 3.3. And then there's another one with Dr. McDaniel, which is this doctor, which is a BBL and breast augmentation with saline implants for just under 6.8. So again, go ahead and check out all of that because I do want you guys to get all of the details. But most importantly, I want you guys to go over to Instagram because that's where you're going to be able to see all of the things that we can't show you here. Like, we can't really show you a lot here, unfortunately. I try my best to show you guys what we can, and every time I do get something that I can show you, I add it to the Rolodex. But for the most part, we can't show you absolutely everything here. So if you guys want to actually see things in details, you guys want to see the before and afters, the Instagram is going to be your best friend. The YouTube is going to be where you guys are going to be able to see the behind the scenes in terms of how the doctors approach the surgeries. And then most importantly, avanaplasticsurgery.com, the official website, is where you're going to be able to see the breakdown of absolutely everything. What did we learn here today? Hourglass tummy tuck. Okay. Something that we learned, right? But again, if you want to learn about everything else, avanaplasticsurgery.com. Okay, guys, this was fun. All right, I'm gonna go. However, I will be seeing you guys again later today. If you guys are not already following us, now is the opportunity to do so. Check out the content on our page as well. And then I look forward to seeing